Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys taking the time to click on the link and checking out the video. Today we are going to talk about the R.A.A.L MG for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I typically do not like using LMGs. They are big, they are bulky, you run slow with them, and generally they have a very long reload time. And they're not the most accurate gun unless you're doing short bursts. And I don't care how you set this gun up. I don't care what attachments you use. If you're going to use an LMG in this game, you have got to get used to doing short bursts. If you've got a lockable trigger on your controller, this really helps a lot. You can get really good and feather your shots, and you can get one shot off at a time, or you can get two or three. You can couple them together, and you can actually get a feel for that and actually decide when to do that. You know, if you want a single shot or hold the trigger a little longer, you get like a two or a triple shot. It just takes time with the gun, but you have got to learn to feather the trigger and do short bursts with these LMGs, or you're not going to be accurate. I typically use LMGs for domination games where I'm setting up. I'll hang back a little bit and just protect, the objective. Like if the team's trying to take A, you can just put down a ton of covering fire for your teammate to take that objective. And that is mainly what I use these weapons for, because they slow you down a lot. With all that said, I'll get off my soapbox. The first attachment that I am running on this rail is going to be the 338 meg over pressurized plus P rounds. I put this on a lot of my weapons. It increases the damage, so every round counts more, and it inflicts target flinch. So if you do connect around with your target, they are going to flinch a little bit, and it's going to throw their accuracy off. Next attachment, and I am using, this is a full build, all 5 attachments. I'm using the Bruin Agent 90 muzzle. So, start with the pros. Undetectable by radar, that's cool. Increased bullet velocity, firing aim stability, and recoil control. You get a little range out of this. It increases the accuracy a little bit, and you get some recoil control. That is why I put that on here. The biggest thing, it does cut down on your handling of the gun, which LMGs are garbage for handling and running anyway, so I didn't really care when I put that on. The cons, it does increase your ADS time. Just know that ahead of time. Increases your aiming idle sway quite a bit, then walking speed and slight damage on range. But overall, I put it on there for the recoil control and the firing aim stability, which does help a little bit doing your burst shots. The barrel I am running on this is the 21-inch EXF Rhino barrel. Once again, helps with recoil control, gun kick. I don't really care about bullet velocity too much, but you get a little better range out of this barrel. The recoil control is slightly improved, and once again, you're taking a hit on mobility and handling, which is already garbage because you're running with an LMG. So the cons: aim down, ADS speed, aim walking speed, movement, sprint, which is all shot with an LMG anyway. You're pretty much going to set up an area and hunker down and provide cover fire. Slimline Pro, my other attachment, I run this on probably 95% of my weapons that are not sniper rifles, just because I like the single reticle dot, the open frame. When you're in ADS, it does not cut down too much on your peripheral. That is why I stick with the Slimline Pro, and no visible cons. The stock. I think I kind of put this stock on here just because I had one more slot left, but I chose it because it helps with the gun kick, the recoil control. That's the big thing with the LMGs, is your accuracy and your recoil control. They're pretty powerful guns, so they got a lot of kick. And this cuts down on movement speed and ADS time once again, which is all pretty typical with an LMG build. Those are my attachments. The R.A.A.L has been a staple in Call of Duty for quite a few games now. It has been in a lot of games. So let's take her over to the range and see how she shoots. Okay. So let me show you. Let's start with this back guy. I'm just going to hold the trigger down. Watch this accuracy. We got him. I should not have reloaded. This takes forever. This is showing you the reload time. It takes forever. So you're much better off if you're going to run with an LMG having a good sidearm where you can just switch to your sidearm, whether that be a shotgun for up close or a pistol. So long shot, and I have it on fully automatic. We're not doing single shot. You can switch it over if you want, but you can do single shot here. See feathering it? You can get very accurate with an LMG. But you gotta feather it. That's the big thing. Let's see what this does with our spread on our whiteboard. We're going to do the all 75 rounds. Just hold the trigger down. Here we go. No moving the right stick. So holding that trigger down, you can see that muzzle rise. That went all the way up to the ceiling. Look at this. Spread. I don't know if my rounds on the ceiling show. They don't. But it came all the way back to about that tile there. So that just shows you the kick if you're not trying to compensate. Same thing on this side like we always do. Not moving the right stick. Just holding down the trigger in ADS. See or check out our bullet spread. 3, 2, 1, go. So look at this grouping, left to right, just kind of all over the place. When you're in the sights, my gun, holding it down because it does have such a large magazine, it does rise. You can see it rose all the way up to the top of the board, but it kept them in a grouping fairly tight. See? So let's take this section right here. We're going to feather the rounds right there in the corner, and let's see how it looks. I am not going to use the right stick to compensate. I am just going to feather the rounds. Here we go. And we can do this for the whole magazine, but you guys get the idea. That is a much better grouping. That is tight. That is in, the area of somebody's chest in the game. You could put those rounds in that area and put them down. So the 3 different ways of shooting this gun, you see, the results, kind of speak for themselves. You've got to get in the habit of feathering the trigger. And you can do it. That was with a lock trigger there. Let me unlock my trigger. And I'm going to do it over here just to show you can still be done without a fancy controller. You ready? Here we go. It actually, the trigger tightens it up quite a bit. That's close. It's pretty close, but there is a difference. It's more of a feeling difference. All right, guys. With that said, let's hop into a game and see what this thing can do.
Enemy down. Moving here.
Losing Charlie. Objective Alpha. The enemy took Charlie.
Taking effective fire.
We're taking
Dropped
Charlie.
him.
The enemy took Charlie.
Taking effective fire. Target down. Taking effective fire.
Be ready to deploy. We're getting hit hard.
One.
The enemy is gaining ground. First missile standing by.
1-1, request effective fire! Target down!